are changing.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Evolve podcast where we have interesting and insightful conversations. I've got my first return guest joining us today, Anna Bucklar.
I love you, and I'm so excited to be back. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I'm just like,
Hold it close.
hold that microphone on your chin, girl.
Hold it to your face. There we go.
So I don't necessarily know where this chat's going to take us. I know that whatever comes up is going to be some good medicine.
Yeah.
And something that I wanted to kind of first touch on and explore and see where it takes us is the idea that we should just kind of fuck around and figure it out. Fuck around and find out, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the queen of this.
I was about to say. Was that a topic for me to start in?
What have you been fucking around with, girl?
My whole entire life purpose. No, I literally, genuinely, I have been on a serious self-love journey. And that has just opened up so many more doors and conversations to have with myself that I didn't know that I needed. And, you know, I was talking to somebody today over breakfast about this, and he was telling me, yeah, I'm just really looking for a new community of friends, and I'm looking for work, and I'm looking for all of these things. And I asked him, I said, well, maybe you're searching for all of these things because there's something going on within that you're lacking, right? So maybe it's a journey to go inward. And I was projecting for sure.
Slay.
Yeah, I was definitely like, come on a self-love journey with me. But
hey, I'm already on that journey. Do you want to come?
And he was very much like, I am very inward, actually. I spend a lot of time alone. And it really hit me that we believe just because we are alone that we're inward. But you could be by yourself all the time and never have gone inward.
And still be distracted.
Yeah. And so I had a follow-up question for him. And I said, well, you know, why do you want those things? What are those things going to give you? And so that was also just a beautiful lesson for me talking with him, because he was telling me, you know, love and support and different forms of validation. And it just reminded me how much this self-love journey has completely changed me by showing me all of my lessons are outside of me, showing me what I need within. And I think even when we first had our first episode, I was like, really, really, really diving deeper into self-love. And it's so insane how fast things can change when you change your perspective on life.
Yeah, there's not a timeline that I guess it justifies how much work you've done. Like literally you could change overnight. There could be one moment or one question that you ask yourself that you suddenly gain clarity on that changes fucking everything for you and completely changes the way that you live life and the way that you show up and where you give your energy and how you treat yourself. I think sometimes people, we're so attached to time. We're so attached to time in so many different ways. And the same thing that people say time heals. No, it fucking doesn't. Feeling your feelings and actually going in to whatever it is that you know, is creating this pain, whatever it is that you're moving through, that's what heals. It's not time. Time doesn't heal. Sorry.
Man.
Time just distracts you. Time suppresses. Yeah. It's still there beneath the surface. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. If you actually haven't gone into it and expressed it and received the medicine of that situation, sorry, but
yes,
it's still going to be there. And
that
is and one more thing, it'll show up again.
Oh, yeah.
It'll show up again.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Our lessons are going to be on repeat until we learn them.
Yeah.
And we get the opportunity to learn from them, but we have to be looking for them. And I think, like, on the topic of fucking around and finding out, that's what I have been doing for so long, place to place to place. And not realizing, like, each country, each person, each thing was healing me in a different way. but most of them were the same thing I needed to learn, just put on repeat in a different place with a different conversation, a different love story. And until I was willing to look at that person and say, the most annoying part of you is the most avoidant part of me, is when all the lessons started to come to me so easily. And I was like, oh, okay. Something like a mantra I quote unquote mantra, I don't actually really even know how to format this, is like, I've been saying to myself, where am I aware but not addressing the awareness? And that's where I'm avoidant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we think just because we have awareness on something, we're like, learned the lesson.
It's like, no. What are you going to do with that awareness? What choices do you make after that with the awareness?
Yeah.
I like it. Fuck, this life, man. It's a journey of growth. And I think the key part of what you were saying there is awareness is the first step. Like actually noticing what's coming up in your reality and getting curious about it. I teach this framework in the coaching work that I do. It's called Perception is Projection, and it's something that I've shared with Anna, and she's a fucking pro at it now, literally all the time.
Changed my life.
Anna's like, oh my God, is my projection in this way and in this way and in this way, and this person said this, and I was like, fuck.
I've changed her.
So the idea of perception is projection. It's that the way you perceive, the way you process, the way that you make sense of, understand, feel about anything that is in your external reality, that perception is based off all of your own information, everything you've ever experienced, the beliefs that you created off the back of that, the trauma, the fear, the pain, the attitudes, the programs, society's ideas, and literally everything that you have ever experienced has created a unique lens for you to then process information. So with that, when you notice something and you make a judgment or you have a thought about it, yeah. So for example, I've got so many examples. Which one do I want to use for this? Okay, I've got one, and this is a personal example. In the past, I used to see a confident woman that was connected to her sensuality. I used to judge the fuck out of her, right?
I used to do this too.
And I used to be like, oh, she's too much, or she's this, or she's that, or fucking hell, can she calm down a bit? And that's nothing on her. That says nothing about who she is, because she is a woman that is fully expressed in her power, connected to herself in a way that I wasn't connected to, right? So the idea, the way we work with perception is projection. We start to get curious about the judgments, the criticisms that we make, the way that we feel, the emotional triggers, and we turn within and we ask ourselves, well, why am I feeling like this? Why am I having this judgment? Because here I am judging that woman, saying that she's this, this, and this, whereas Anna might be looking at her and being like, what a fucking queen. She's incredible, right? So it's my own unique lens that's forming that opinion, and that's telling me about myself. It's got nothing to do what's in front of me. And the way that I love to work with perception is projection, is the sense that it's like we pretend. It's not really that we're pretending, but this life that we're living, I like to think of it as if it's a game, right? And the purpose of the game for some of us is to get to the good stuff, right? And we're going to get clues all the time to invite us to see ourselves more clearly so that we can overcome whatever it is that's showing up, that's holding us back, so that we can get to the next level, so that we can grow and evolve and get to the good stuff. So for me, if I was self-aware in that moment and I noticed myself having that criticism of that confident, fully expressed, beautiful, sensual woman, if I noticed that I was getting triggered and judging her, I'd be like, oh, how is this me? Yeah. This is showing me something about me. Now, with the questions that we use through perception is projection, we ask ourselves, how is this me? Is this something that Is this something that I am that I'm unwilling to see, or is it showing me what's available to me? Is it showing me what I get to explore and become more of? And is this a next level of growth for me? And that's what that woman was. Yeah, because I was not connected to my sensuality. I was not connected to, this female power and confidence at that time, right? So she was a mirror for me to show me where I was missing out, essentially. Yeah. And there are other examples of like, if you're noticing in other people that they're being avoidant, yeah, you're like, oh, they're being avoidant. Fucking ask yourself that. Where am I being avoidant? And then you're going to get some clarity on the next step you need to take or what you need to work on.
Right.
That's perception is projection.
Yeah. And when I tell you, it literally has transformed my life.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even begin to express and explain in the words that it's transformed, because when I say transformation, I don't mean, and I think a lot of people think it's just like coming from one person to another, but it is a whole shedding of identity and rewiring of your brain. So everything in your life changes, not just relationships, not just money. It's your mindset. You are a completely different person. You could rename yourself. Like, you are on a different identity. And what I mean by that, like for me, my experience from this with you is when I arrived to Costa Rica, I was obviously completely different, but
in what ways?
it was like, I remember arriving. Two big things that just came to me when you were telling this story is, so when I arrived, I remember noticing that all of the women here were not only so beautiful, but they didn't wear any makeup. Like, they wore none, right? And their hair was just gorgeous. They just were so lived in their natural beauty. And I would say things like, well, I love that for them, right? Oh, that's so great for them. Even though deep down, the things that we see in other people that we love about them are the things that we want to love about ourselves.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I would say things, but then I would match it with an excuse, not realizing that's just another form of avoidance. It's like, I'm just telling myself it's okay in a different format to make myself feel like it is. And never really having the conversation with myself. Ooh, well, maybe day by day you start wearing less makeup. Maybe day by day you start embracing every single part of you that you don't like, and you start addressing it. And I remember when I very first met you, you taught me about, I was not expecting the conversation to go this way, but since we're talking about self-love, so much of what you've implemented into my life has just changed me. And you'll have to correct me, but it's the ritual where you look in the mirror and thank you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the self-love practice.
Yeah. And
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah. And when I first got here, I was going through a huge change. I was just recovering from an eating disorder, still coming in and out of relapsing. And so it was really at the brink of going back or moving forward. And that ritual was the first time I ever really looked into the mirror and addressed the parts of me, like held onto my stomach and said, thank you, I love you, And in the moment, those things feel really, really hard. I remember sobbing my eyes out. Man, I don't want to do this. This feels awkward. Even laughing, feeling weird, uncomfortable.
Yes.
Stepping away from the mirror, only doing it for a second.
Yes.
And it's like all of that weird ickiness is resistance. And now it doesn't even come into my mind. Like, I think we have this idea that it's like, oh, now you want me to do this every single morning for the rest of my life? Like, no, it's altering the way that you view yourself now. So this can be implemented into your brain and your life. So you don't have to make it a practice. It is your life. It is your mindset. It is your new program. And it's like, now I look in the mirror and I smile and I say, thank you. And I don't look for the criticism. I don't even look to put the makeup on. And it's those little actions that allow us to, and perspectives and perceptions that allow us to change our future, which I believe now has in return made me so much more happier in my day-to-day life, and in return just started attracting more of the things that I want.
Yeah.
And then life just gets easy. You look at that woman and you idolize her. You're like, damn, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you look so great and I'm so proud of you. You know? Like,
there's no longer the trigger there or the judgment.
Right. And I think when you're a woman that's done the work, I think we all are still, always on our own journey. You see other women and you go, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. When I see a sister on this path, I'm like, go queen. I
Yeah.
see you. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah, that's the I think the first step is self-awareness, and we can cultivate that through the perception is projection clue, right? It's like just starting to recognize and notice within yourself, what are my judgments? What are my criticisms? What am I saying? What do I think about this? Yeah, like just observing it, going into an observer mode and starting to get curious and starting to notice those things. And then once you begin to notice them, you can start taking yourself through the process of being like, what's this information telling me about me? Yeah, what's the clue here? Because that's what I'm being gifted with in this moment. It's a clue.
I also think that there's a lot of clues, not just in, people, but the way that we respond to something. Like I see,
Anna.
Yeah, I see a lot of us, including myself still, let our emotions lead us into our thoughts. And so, and then we kind of continue to drag this on and bathe in it. And it's like, well, that's just the way that I am, or I am just this way, or this stresses me out. And it's like, you're building on this. You're
Affirming it.
Claiming it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just started claiming everything else. The way that you would completely change.
It's like, when did I decide that? That's the question to ask in that moment. It's like, well, hang on. It's like, oh, this is just, I mean, what's an example? I think sometimes we develop these different things. Like, I'm just going to say gut issues as an example. Yeah. And it's like, let's just say you've got loose stools and you've had loose stools for a while, right? And it just becomes your baseline. And you're like, oh, it's just the way that I am. And it's like, is it? Is that your body functioning properly? That's just one example. Let me think of another example where it's more mental. That's like a physical example. A mental example could be like, oh, I just get triggered when, come on, brain. Give me a fantastic example. You got any?
One that I recently heard was, I'm just emotionally unavailable. I think that's a good one. And like one of my friends told me that. She was like, I'm just emotionally unavailable. And I'm like, are you emotionally unavailable, or are you being avoidant to the emotions that you are afraid to feel? I don't know if that's the story or example you were looking for, if you're looking for something.
I mean,
it
could be like if someone was like, I'm just closed off. Like, or I just can't open up to people, so that's a good example actually. And it's like, well, when did you decide that? One, because like you were saying before, like if you keep choosing that reality, if you keep affirming to yourself that that's just the way that I am, that's the way that you're going to stay, right? And if you're closed off and you just, I've been hurt, so I'm closed off, I can't do this again, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, if like that's what you're choosing, and the way to open up, like, yeah, it might not be the most comfortable journey. There might be some stuff that you need to feel. There might be some stuff that you need to move through, some stuff that you need to work on. You might need to invest in yourself and do some work with like a coach or a therapist or something. But it's like, ultimately, what do you want? Do you want love? Do you want human connection? Do you want closeness? Do you want support? Do you want, like, all of those things are available to you, and you've got to be willing to receive them. And sometimes to be able to receive them, there might be some things that you need to work through first. And that's fair. Like, I think a lot of us have been through our own versions of that in different ways.
Yeah, I agree. And I also feel like I had no idea the little things I needed to do to make that big difference. And like, again, the mirror and other practices, and how these little just perspective changes were going to make so much bigger of a difference, even if I didn't feel it in the moment.
It's like bringing yourself back to it and being like, no, this is
right.
This is my truth. This is what I choose to believe. Yeah,
right.
This is what I choose to focus on.
Yeah.
What I want to say, Anna, and I love that you brought up the self-love ritual, and I love that you kind of tapped into and shared how it was like, oh, it's a bit fucking uncomfortable at first. It felt weird. I was kind of laughing at myself. I was like, what am I doing? Like, a lot of the people that I work with share a similar story and I get it. And it feels that way just because it's new.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think anything that's unfamiliar can be scary, or it can be like not super comfortable, right? We're doing it for the first time. And for some people, touching an emotion that's big for the like is the first time, because there hasn't been a safe space to be able to do that. Because, you know, we just get on with it, and like people kind of just blink it away. And a silly thing that people do is they're like, oh, don't cry. It's okay. Don't cry. And it's like, fuck off. Don't tell me not to cry. I need to cry.
Yeah.
I need to let this out.
Let these emotions out. I was thinking about this the other day. I did a breath work ceremony a couple of days ago, and it was the first breath work which the experience for anyone can always be positive or go deep into something, but it was the first one that was extremely positive. I usually go into breath work and we get to work, you know?
Yeah.
There's the breath and then there's the work. And I'm like, oh, okay. But this was fun, and it was light. And I forgot that there is this part of healing that is fun and beautiful and light. And the self-love journey is actually that, because for so long I was so afraid to do it. And I didn't realize I was afraid. I was just avoiding it. I was like, oh, I've already done it. I'm on a self-love journey, da, 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 da. But there's so much deeper that you could go. And it was funny because I was like, wait, the self-love journey is actually so fun. It is, you're falling in love with yourself. In the same way that you fall in love with a partner or a person. Like if you've never gone through a phase in life where you're like, I'm actually feeling the same butterflies in my stomach, the same giggles at the middle of the night. Like I take myself out for breakfast all the time. Well, any meal, honestly, or anything I do alone.
Dinner.
And I laugh at myself like I would if I was dating someone. Like I'm just like, people probably think I'm so weird because I'll just like be in the store and I'll be like, you're so I'm like, you're so funny, Anna. And I'm like, I'm falling in love with myself for the very first time. And I'm like cooking in the kitchen and loving what I'm creating for myself. And I'm not grinding and on this time crunch and this schedule. And something you even also shared with me was like, you need to just go back to mothering yourself. And that helped me every day start treating myself like I would if I was my own daughter. And remember being like, would I tell my daughter to hurry up and eat this meal? Would I let my daughter eat these raw vegetables because she's just so hungry? No, I would have already fed her multiple times today. I would have cooked her a really great meal. I would tell her not to go on that date if she doesn't feel like it, you know? And I started talking to myself like that. And it brought up a lot of emotions, yeah. But it was the love that I always needed and craved, finally learning how to give it to myself. And that's what self-love really is.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Girl, it's been a journey.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, it's like... It's been a journey.
Yeah.
But a beautiful one. Yeah. So I do get like bittersweet with you leaving. I'm like, okay. Because like Costa Rica, I just think the women that we showed up here as and the women that we're both just crying. Like, the tissue. The women that we showed up here as and the women that we're leaving, like, they have just been on a journey.
Yeah.
But it's been so amazing. Like,
I don't know, like, you have been such a rock to me here and such a safe space. You know, like, you know, when you just find those people that it's just, like, I met a lot of fucking people here.
yeah, we meet so many people.
I met so many people. I'm like, nah.
Nope.
But you, like, I'm like, oh, she's the one. She's the one, you know?
Oh.
And like, it's been like one of the fucking greatest gifts of my life to have seen your growth over the last year. Like fucking, and that's why I was kind of saying at the start of the episode, like talking about time don't matter. Like, you know, like it's sometimes having those conversations of being like, fuck yeah, it was only 3 years ago that I was doing drugs and I was doing this and this and this and this. And it's like, what, now I'm here? Like when you say it like that, it's like, oh, but it honestly, time doesn't matter. Like if you go inward and you face yourself and you meet yourself with love and a willingness to explore, a willingness to feel, to get curious, to unlearn, to choose a new way, to learn new things. Like, dude, you could transform and become more you, really, and that's what the essence of all of this is.
Absolutely.
It's a returning home to yourself.
Yeah.
That can happen quickly. 6 months, different person. 3 months, different person.
Yeah. And, you know, I was actually having this conversation with my ex-husband the other day. Not that we have like an amazing relationship, but we don't have a bad one either.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was just sharing some beautiful things with me and I was sharing some beautiful things with him. And we were just kind of like laughing at how different we are and how far we've come. And it was either him or he was talking about someone that had mentioned it, that it, you know, it hasn't really been that much time. And it made me realize and just bring forward, like, you know, we went down this beautiful conversation. It's like time really isn't a healer because there's so much more to healing that we do not know about. And that's honestly why I'm so passionate about what I do now. It's like, there are so many alternative ways to heal your body and to help you become the best version of yourself. And I think that when I was having that conversation with him, bringing to his awareness that when you go inward, when you find where the trauma is and you release it and you feel those emotions, you look for the lessons and you learn from them and not just see them, your life can change like that and you will step onto a whole nother timeline. And when you've really broken through something like that, I find that the hardest things that I could have never imagined in my life doing are the easiest now. And life feels so much lighter than it has ever felt. And I keep finding it easier and easier to take the easy path and it be exactly what it was meant to be. Because I think we forget we will always end up at the final destination. We get to choose how hard the journey is.
I like that. And I love this thread, and it's kind of like you've come back to it and it started with you saying like, oh, I'm learning to love myself. And that can be a fucking joyful, excited, like giddy honeymoon kind of experience if I choose that, if I choose to find that, right? If I choose to be playful and weird and silly, like even just in my own energy, like that's fun. Like that energy is beautiful, you know? And then it's just been woven into what you've just said around we don't have to make things as hard as they are sometimes. Sometimes we can make things a little bit harder on ourselves.
Yeah, I think that we forget that life is supposed to be fun.
Life can be fun.
Yeah. And light. And I spent a lot of time making myself punish more than I needed to just because that was the belief that I had in my head. Like, it's got to be this hard. Isn't it always this hard? No?
Do you know what? You wouldn't get to experience the light without the heavy stuff either, though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
It's a reference point.
Absolutely.
And that's a nice thing, you know, like, because I think when we go on this journey, it really does ebb and flow. You know, I love that you're in a peak right now. fuck yeah, relish, enjoy it, please. Like whenever I find myself in those moments, like that was me last year in Costa Rica. I remember driving down that road on my quad and just like moving my hair in the wind and just being like, fuck yes, like just like the most insane amounts of gratitude and love and appreciation and happiness and just like, woo, life is fucking great. I'm so happy to be here. I haven't had much of that this year, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But I believe that what I agree with what you say is like life is going to be up and down. There are going to be hearts. There are going to be good times as well. And I think when I say life is meant to be light, I think it's more so in the sense that I'm now a true believer that the hardest times come before the greatest and the best. And I was in Bangkok at a coffee shop the other day, 3 months ago. Hold on. Time is an illusion.
It was yesterday. In some way it was yesterday.
In my mind, I'm there.
I'm there right now.
And he comes
and you're with me. Yeah. We're in Bangkok in a coffee shop.
There's a man, he comes up to me and he's like, sweetest guy. We have a little croissant and a coffee together. And he tells me this beautiful metaphor that's just made me really love life. And it's that it's probably, I think a lot of people know what it is, but it's called the butterfly effect. And it's when you start to realize that we are caterpillars and we will go into our cocoon. And that cocoon is going to be really sheltering, maybe dark, closed off, and we don't know what is to come. And in that cocoon time, we are going to struggle and fight, and it's going to be really hard. But right before you release, you're about to have your wings and discover the vast beauty of this world and something that's bigger and greater than you can imagine. Imagine trying to tell a butterfly how amazing the world is. They wouldn't be able to even process it. They wouldn't be able to imagine it. And if we were trying to take the caterpillar out of its cocoon, it would lose everything it needs to be able to fly. So the hardest parts are giving you the struggles and the growth that you need.
The resources so that you can fly.
Yeah.
I love that. And then sometimes the butterfly dies. I'm just seeing this. I'm seeing I think.
And then sometimes the butterfly actually dies.
No, but I think the butterfly, let's just say, I'm just likening it to death and rebirth that we also experience in life as a human. You know, it's I've had a couple of deaths.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a couple of deaths on this journey I've been on, and been reborn into anew. And then I've had my fucking caterpillar. I've been a little caterpillar again, and then I've had a cocoon, and then I've flown again. You know, so it's almost I feel like we kind of cycle through the butterfly and the caterpillar a couple of times.
Absolutely, I love that, and it's so true. And it's
and then we get to be you might start off as a little moth, and then you might turn into a blue fucking butterfly with amazing blue, gorgeous, big wings. Ooh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and those really big, beautiful butterflies that are huge. I don't even know if I've ever actually seen one.
Apparently they're here. Someone said to me, I saw someone the other day, and they said, "Have you seen the big blue butterfly?" His name was Robert. He was from Germany. And I was like, "No." I was like, "Where are they?" He was like, "Near where I live." And I'm like, "Okay."
Nah, that doesn't sound safe.
It wasn't important.
It's actually in my house, in my chamber. I'm going to lock you in.
No. We're just joking.
Kidding.
No, my brain went there too. But in this conversation, he wasn't implying that in a silly way. He just meant in his area of resonance.
But I think that is it. We are the ecosystem. We are a butterfly. Things are going to change. And there's always beauty in it. The same way that there's always a rainbow after a really hard storm. And it's sometimes the harder things are actually the best because they're giving you the strength that you need. And honestly, I really wish I would have known that during the hardest times of my life. I think it really would have helped me when I was stranded.
You know what? You weren't meant to know it at that point in your life.
Yeah.
Because there may be some tough times again, Anna.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the way that you navigate and move through them now is with the awareness and it's with all the resources that you have. So you may have that moment
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
You
think
know?
we'll have them throughout our whole life for sure. Yeah.
Do you know what? Something that I've been really embracing and loving is like the thing that I'm working on at the moment is becoming more me in all ways fucking possible, right? So it's like no more Bobo, no more Botox.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had Botox in nearly 2 years. I'm getting my breasts out.
Yeah, that's beautifully crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like going natural. I think I don't know. I don't think I'm not as attached to the hair thing. Like the hair thing's like, you know what? I'm probably going to grow it out and be my natural color, and then I'll probably go blonde or something, or orange or something again as a form of expression. But the thing that I am really choosing to, I guess, learn and embrace is that our bodies aren't meant to stay the same. And we've been brainwashed and led to believe that we need to look a certain way and we need to stay a certain way, and that's all that's beautiful. And it's like, no, I unsubscribe from that. You know, like I'm choosing to appreciate my body now for what it is now. And I know that it's going to change. I'm going to have a baby in there one day. And then my body is going to heal. Like my body is going to move and I'm going to move with it. You know, my body's going to change and I'm going to change with it, and I'm going to embrace with it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It makes sense. 100%.
Yeah. So rather than be like, oh, this isn't my body, it's like, this is my body right now.
Yeah.
This is my body. This, and it's perfect. It's perfect for where it is right now, based off being pregnant or based off recovering from pregnancy and healing, based off, you know, strengthening and building muscle or whatever the journey looks like at that point in life.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I love that you're talking about this, because this is also something I'm in life. Is like the other day I had some old pictures come up and I was like really, really small. And this is, I don't know, but I feel like this is the softest or heaviest I've ever been. And I was like, but this is also the happiest I've ever been. I'm like, I actually started laughing because I was like, oh, immediately I was like, wow, I looked so good. I'm like, but I feel so good right now. Like that girl that you're idolizing, that old version is not the version that you would want to be, you know?
No, because the way that she looked is also tied to the way that she treated herself.
Right.
You know? And it's
Right.
like, you're not that person anymore, Anna. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think our body is so much more of a signal than we ever allow it to be, because we're always so in our minds, and especially not just like all of the other nervous system and everything, but really just like weight and outside physical things is I was looking at myself, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little bit more soft. And I was like, because I'm softer in. I love how soft I'm being with myself. And when I'm ready to pick up more masculine energy, and when I'm ready to be a little bit more structured, then that will be the time to push myself.
Yeah.
But actually right now, trying to grind and go to the gym and count my macros is not what my body or my mind need right now. And if I want to be on this self-love journey, I have to give myself love, not try to fit back into societal norms or a scale or what the scale says. Because at the end of the day, none of that matters. None of it matters.
Do you know what's interesting that I realized? Because I overall like quite satisfied with my body, right? And there was also a version of me or a part of me that desired to lose a little bit of body fat, right? And it's not from this perspective in the past where it's been from, so I can, you know, be good enough, or I can be this or I can be that. It's definitely been that in the past, right? It's more so been from the point of like longevity. Like I want to build muscle, and naturally when you build muscle, you lean down in other areas, right? So it's like I had these health and fitness goals that I've been trying to kind of align with for the last 12 months. And since getting, and I just could never really move the needle with it. Since getting my test results back from my hair tissue mineral analysis results, I realized that my body was under too much stress because of the levels and where things were at, that there was no fucking way I'd be able to build muscle or lose weight.
Right.
Right? So I think, yeah, what I'm excited about now is to go on this beautiful detox journey where I take care of everything from the inside out. I'm not training at all right now. And that's actually part of the protocol. But it's been interesting as well. Like over the last 12 months since I've been back here this year, it's not been a top priority for me, and it's not been something that I've even felt bad about. I'm like, this is just where I'm at. Like I've truly just tuned into my energy levels and be like, what do I need? And I've been giving myself that. And it's been sleep, rest, slowness. Yeah. And like my nervous system's needed it. My body's needed it because all my fucking things are out of whack.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very exciting to actually go on this detox journey that I'm stepping into now, and it just feels like it's so full of love, which is so nice, because there was like such a period of time where I really just abused my body in so many different ways, through food, through alcohol, through drugs, through sex, just not honoring my vessel. And so I do really feel fully committed in this, like going through the whole process. It's going to be like a 6 to 12 month process. And I feel so solid and excited to do it.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
But it was interesting to have that kind of awareness that it's like the natural rhythms of what was happening for me, like even just in the sense that it was like I wasn't able to hold this strict or consistent exercise regime as I have in the past this year. And it's because my minerals are out of balance. I've got a heavy metal burden that I need to detox. I need to support my liver, and I've probably got parasites and all these different things going on internally that was like all of my signals were saying, actually don't go to the gym. Actually rest, actually go for a walk instead, or do this or do this. So
yeah, I also, that was something I learned here, was like I was really introduced to like building the body that you want doesn't have to be through grinding through the gym. Like it can be through other softer movements, or like
dance, Friday nights, salsa.
Dance. Like I always felt like I needed to be like, oh, what's a good workout? And it's like, or maybe it's just moving my body the way that it needs to be moved, and that's enough for right now. And
maybe
at
that's
some
a walk
point
on the beach.
Yeah, and at some point, if I want to do something more, like even just doing something softer like yoga and Pilates, I saw more results because it was exactly what my body needed. And it started shaping me in the way that I wanted my body to be shaped in. So yeah, it's really interesting. I heard something the other day about resting and receiving, and it's something I'm really working on now, is not feeling like I need to push myself in order to receive. And so giving myself that rest means that you're going to be more calm, and then in return you're going to be happier.
Oh, to receive is to sit back and open.
Oh yeah.
Not to receive to go and chase.
Well, that's lackey
grab.
energy. That's chase. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like who wants to chase anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? I have this thing that I do. Like I don't really post that much online to be like, hey, come work with me. And especially this year, I did my group program, which was amazing, and I've got some long-term one-on-one clients that I work with, and for a period of time, energetically, it's like I closed the doors. I was like, nope, no one come in, and that was just like a decision that I made, and it's almost like I literally visualized closing doors. I'm like, I got enough going on.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have enough. I'm holding enough with the clients that I've got, which is perfect. And I need, I mean, I could technically hold more, like I have in the past. It's just that energetically, I needed more time and space for myself. And recently, I've opened up the doors. I've just had people reaching out to work with me and filling out the applications and blah blah blah. And yeah. So it really is an energetic thing. It is.
Yeah.
It really is like a visual. It's a thing that I feel myself do. Like I feel myself close off things, and then I feel myself open up and be like, okay, cool. I'm open and letting them come in now.
Yeah. And I think this also goes back to what we were talking about, life just being easier. Something I've noticed as well is like that rest and then to receive, and that attraction and being more magnetic really, really is the way to be more successful and to attract in the things that you want, because things start coming to you and ideas and clarity and creativity start to come in so much more easier. And I, like, with my old business, I was so hyper obsessed and such a workaholic that it was all that I did. And so I had this belief that in order to be successful, I needed to be by my laptop. And when you're here,
Well, yeah, you've been unlearning that big time here, haven't you?
oh yeah, like seriously, even when I was traveling and solo traveling, like I would still, because I love to be in a coffee shop. Like I love just to be in a coffee shop, even if it's reading, writing, whatever. But it was always working. And here, nobody does that. And the environment doesn't really want you to either. There's not Wi-Fi all the time. And, people are like, why are you on the laptop? Like, let's go surf or whatever. But I've been really unlearning it. And what it's done is it's shown me that work doesn't happen in front of the laptop. Work is where the execution happens, especially if you're in a creative field, is like to create inspiring things. You need to be inspired.
Dude, Brittany literally said that exact same thing in the last episode. That is so.
Are you serious?
Like literally, I'm like, do I need to be inspired? Like, I'm like, I think I am inspired. Like, but it's like literally we just recorded
But
it.
it's true. It
is true.
You want to be a creative, you got to do creative shit.
Yeah.
Like you got to do what you're trying to be. You can't just be it and not be it. You know what I mean? Like that's not how it works.
Actually, I like that you said that, because that kind of part of the message wasn't communicated. Yeah. If you want to be creative, you've got to do creative things. It's like, yeah, go surf, go be in nature, go hang out with people, like see what, like get inspired through doing and being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny. Like I felt so bad for not working one night. I was like, I really need to do those things. And then I was like, wait, do I? No, I really actually don't need to do them. And if I never did them, nothing would change. So that shows me that I actually don't need to do them. I'm trying to fill myself with things that don't actually matter. Yeah. Or is this something that I could just tell AI to do in 5 seconds? But I like having control, right? I like giving myself an excuse. So I stopped bringing my laptop anywhere with me except unless I knew I'm going to a place to work. And it opened up, like when I go to a coffee shop, what it has shown me is like energetically literally opening me up.
Yeah.
Now when I'm at a coffee shop, I'm probably going to end up having a conversation with someone. A conversation is probably going to show me whatever I need to learn, because people are mirrors, right? So that conversation is going to create something. And then if I sit there and I journal, something else is going to come through. All of this is going to start just like easily coming to me while I get to enjoy life.
Yeah, because you're giving space for that.
Yeah.
And you're receptive. You're like, ooh, what am I going to learn here? Like you're switched on in that sense.
Exactly.
Some people aren't switched on in that sense. And you can be through self-awareness, through observation and curiosity and self-reflection, which we've already chatted about in this app. Yeah. Wow, what a powerful conversation. That was fun.
An amazing one. Yeah, we went on a journey.
We literally were like, I don't know. I was like, I think the episode title's called Fuck Around and Figure It Out, or Fuck Around and Find Out. I don't know if that's actually going to be the title. We'll see. It might be. I don't know if it makes. Yeah.
We talked a lot about love.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, it was perfect.
It was exactly what
I love. I don't love to structure my podcast episodes that much, guys. You know, I love to let the magic of the moment really speak through and let that happen organically through the conversation, and that's what we've done here today. And I hope you've gotten what you've needed from it. So,
yay.
Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you guys. Ciao.
Ciao.